Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Chelsea and we talk all things cozy personal finance here. So today I wanted to do something a little bit different. I mentioned in my last budget with me that I had made a list of all of my 2025 accomplishments, at least the ones that I remember. Now we're gonna make a video on them and hopefully this will inspire you to take a second, reflect, give yourself a pat on the back, because if you're anything like me, I struggle with that so hard. It's like I accomplish something and then I'm sprinting towards the next thing. So hopefully this inspires you to reflect, make your own list in your journal or in your phone, wherever it makes sense for you, so that you can look back and be proud of yourself. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm not gonna share everything, but I'll share some of the ones that are appropriate to share. Okay, so the first one is finding providers that are more aligned with me. So in the past, it's always been really difficult for me to find health providers that are aligned with what my goals are and what I'm trying to get done and what I'm trying to accomplish. And so in 2025, I set out to find a couple of more, because I do have some people on my team who are absolutely amazing, but to add on to it and make sure that I'm being well supported. And I ended up doing that. Another 2025 accomplishment was being more consistent with moving my body. My overall goal, and I will say this till I'm blue in the face, so I go to Pilates classes once a week normally. Sometimes when I go to like the stretch classes, if you go to Club Pilates, you know, the center and balance classes, I call them the stretch classes, you know, whatever, tomato. There are so many times where I'm in any of the Club Pilates classes and there are individuals who will out loud say like, oh, I'm 80 years old, and, you know, like older individuals. And I'm just like, I'm trying to be like you, my boy. So that is the goal for me. I want to be 80 years old in a Pilates class too. That is the goal. I want to be able to do those things. Being consistent, or being more consistent about moving my body, was really important to me, especially after learning some health concerns and health stuff that has been going on. That was important, and that is something that I was able to be a lot more consistent and intentional about. So I'm super proud of myself for that. I went on beautiful trips in 2025. I truly love to travel. Like, that is what I see for my future, like being the rich titi and being like, yeah honey, I'm gonna show up for your second birthday, but you know, I'm flying in from Dubai, so I'm gonna come in the day of, or whatever. That just makes me so happy thinking about that. Like, traveling gives me life. I'm talking this year, I mean 2025. So 2025, I ended up going on amazing trips to DC, to Charlotte, to NOLA. Oh my God. And I also went on a trip with my grandmother. If you've been rocking with me for a little bit, you know I was able to take her to Puerto Rico, and I was able to see a lot of how she grew up and who she grew up with and where she grew up. And that was honestly just, there's no words. That's a memory that is honestly gonna make my life. Like, it's so amazing, and I'm so grateful to be able to do things like this because I had paid off my car, which that's another one on there, paid off my car. Because I had paid off my car, that just saved me a lot more money. I was able to save more money faster. And my grandma and I have been talking about a trip for a while. And so being able to take her on this trip and see where she grew up and learn more about her, it's just honestly invaluable. So I'm so blessed that I was able to see what I was able to see in 2025. And I can't wait to see more. So yeah, I already said paid off my car, but I did mention earlier, I said something about health concerns. I'm not getting into all of that. However, one of my providers said something so beautiful to me, and it really stuck to me. I'm surprised I didn't start crying when she said it, to be honest. But she said that faced with all the obstacles, again, I'm not gonna get into specifics, but like faced with all the obstacles that I was faced with in 2025 and even earlier than that, she said that faced with all of that, I didn't run away, I ran towards myself. And that hit home for me because I feel like I am the most avoidant person ever. And so just to hear that validation of like, no girl, you did the dang thing, was just so beautiful, and honestly made my whole year, to be honest. It was so nice to point out, and it was one of those moments where I was like, you're right. Let me chill. You're right. So that was really, really nice. But just to have that acknowledged, and just to feel like, yes, that is right. That's exactly what I did. I ran towards myself. I handle business, okay? Big business. Let me stop. Another accomplishment was having over 200 subscribers on YouTube, which actually I think it's around like 240 now. Girl, don't make me cry. Don't make me cry. Don't make me cry. Okay, let me stop. I'm actually having a giveaway on my last budget with me for the 200 subscribers. So make sure to check that out if you're interested. I said this in a previous video, but if I help one person, my life is made. To know there are over 200 of y'all subscribed. So if you would have asked me, you know, a year ago, 2 years ago, Chelsey, would you post on YouTube? I was like, no, I don't know. I'm scared. I don't want to do that. I don't, you know, whatever, making all the excuses, right? Just to know that this is where I'm at because I did take that leap. And I have an amazing community of people who are also on the same journey with me and who also want to learn more. It's just, words cannot describe how I feel. So I am on cloud nine. And in that same breath, I have over 2,700 friends on TikTok. Girl, who is she? Who is she? Who is she? Who is she? Also, bringing it back to Club Pilates, there are levels and you start at level 1, there's a 1.5, there's a 2. I don't know if it goes beyond that. That's none of my business because I'm not there. I finally tried a 1.5 class. I've been going to Club Pilates for so long. I finally tried a 1.5 class. I've always been so scared. And I did a workshop. So they have workshops where you can like see if you're ready to level up to the next level. I was petrified after that. I was like, oh no, maybe I need to just stay at 1 for the rest of my life. Did try a 1.5 and yes, it was a little bit more challenging, but gosh, I'm so happy I ended up doing it. I'm so grateful that I did that. And my instructor is absolutely amazing. Honestly, she's probably the only reason why I keep going. But yeah, I'm super proud of myself for like getting out of my head. I find that is most of where my problems start. It's just being in my own head about everything. And then when I go do the thing, it's like, oh, that wasn't that bad. Or like, maybe it wasn't my favorite thing, but like, hey, at least you tried it. At least you have the experience, you know? I need to stop that. I need to stop that. And if you watching, you do it too, we need to stop that. It's not serving us. Damn, this might be a long video, guys. My list is really long and like, these are good things. Okay, I'll try to speed run by the rest of the other stuff. One of them is being that I went to bingo for the first time and that was another thing in my head. I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know. It seems intense. I probably shouldn't go. I'm probably gonna mess up. Somebody's gonna get mad at me. I'm gonna call bingo and I'm not gonna have bingo for real. I went for the first time. I had a blast. It was so much fun and it was local and it was so chill. Like people were literally bringing meals, like their dinner to bingo and eating there, setting up and whatever and getting ready. And then playing the bingo. Like, oh, this is so cool. I love this. So that was fun. So if you didn't know, I am a single Pringle. I've always been seeing these like dating events online and I was always so scared about it. I went to my first dating event and then ended up going to more of them. I ended up having a good time. I actually ended up meeting like a friend at my first singles event. Like we literally walked in at the same time. It was so funny. I was like, I think I was meant to meet you here today. It was so much fun. And I'm like, again, what's wrong with you, girl? Just go. It's okay. Like, you don't have to love it, but it's the experience. You go and you have fun, you try. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's okay. Those were fun and I'm so glad I ended up just going. And I continue to keep trying to find other ways to just be social in general, like not just dating events and stuff like that, but I've been trying to put myself out there more of just like going to this place solo, going to this event solo. Like I went to an influencer event, not that there were influencers there. I mean, I'm sure there were, but like an influencer hosted the event and I went solo last year as well, just to be like, you know what, put myself out there, meet new people, which I did. All the women that were there were absolutely amazing. It was great. It was great. So just putting myself out there a little bit more is what was on the agenda for 2025. And we definitely are carrying that over to 2026. I did get a raise in 2025, so that's nice. I celebrated 3 years of home ownership in 2025. I completely cash flowed Christmas. So if you watch any of my other videos, you know this already, but I completely cash flowed the holidays, which is something that is important to me. And I had money left over. That's an accomplishment. All right. I'm carrying that over to 2026 too. Also, I ended some things that were not beneficial to me. For the longest time, I always waited for like just this terrible, terrible thing to happen before I ended relationships or situationships or anything like that. I waited to the last minute for something terrible to happen to be like, okay, I'm done. On multiple occasions, I ended up choosing myself in 2025 and choosing my peace and my joy, and ended a few things that were not really serving me, to be honest. And I'm super proud of myself for that, because like I said, I hold on tight. When I am emotionally invested in a relationship or a connection or anything like that, I'm in there. I'm wound up, you know, and I wait till the last straw, basically. So I'm proud of myself for changing that up. And so for the last accomplishment of 2025, I had a budget worksheet dashboard for Budget with Chelsey in general that I liked, but I felt like needed to be revamped. And in 2025, I did revamp that dashboard, which I feel like is 10 times better. And I'm sure I'll revamp it 25,000 more times. But I did end up doing that, and that is in the description if you're interested. But I've been wanting to do that for so long, and I kept putting it off, and I finally ended up doing it. So that wraps up my 2025 accomplishments list. This is actually a little bit longer than I thought it was going to be. I'm so interested to know, what is one or multiple of your 2025 accomplishments that you're so proud of? Again, friends, we need to take a step back, and this is me talking to myself too. I'm staring at myself in the camera right now. We need to take steps back and recognize our accomplishments, recognize when we hit a goal. We need to recognize those things and celebrate ourselves. Whether it's lighting your favorite candle, or treating yourself to your favorite meal or a coffee, or going to buy that book that you've been eyeing for so long, or getting yourself new sheets for your bed. We need to celebrate and acknowledge accomplishments and goals that are hit and achieved, because life is too short. And if you're anything like me, I'm always on go, and that is not helpful at all, because I just feel like there's never a moment where I'm sitting back and recognizing myself. It's just constant flow of things, and that's the fastest way you're gonna get to burnout. So anyways, again, let me know in the comments below, what are some of your accomplishments for 2025? And if you're interested in more content like this, make sure to follow me on Budget with Chelsey on Instagram and TikTok, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe here for more. We'll talk soon. Bye.